Nikhil Nas, my colleague, joining us with the very latest. Nikhil, good news coming in from Odisha.
That's right, Preeti. I mean, it's a dream start for the Indian team. Just looking at the way the group pans out, sometimes you tend to get a few easy games to begin your World Cup campaign, but that wasn't the case with this Indian team because you got probably the toughest opponents that you could have got in their group, which was Spain, alongside maybe England, which is another tough opponent that they'll have in their group. Remember, it's a group of 4 teams. One team that tops their group get a direct qualification for the quarterfinals, and I think that's the target that the Indian team had, to be the top in their group so they get a direct qualification. Otherwise, if you finish second or third, then you have to go through a pre-quarter final, and that's a scenario that the Indian team wouldn't be looking at. So I think this was a very crucial game. They were up against a team that had been their Achilles heels of sort in the last few encounters. In fact, it was 2-2 as far as wins are concerned, and the 5th game that they had played, that is Spain in India, coming into this particular encounter, that had ended in a draw. So there was nothing to choose between these two teams, but I think it's been a clinical display from the Indian team, winning 2-0, 2 very good goals. And the biggest problem area for India before this game was that their defense was leaking a lot of goals. They went to Australia, leaked a lot of goals there, lost 4-1, so that was a big worry. But clearly the work that this team has put right before this World Cup seems to have paid the dividends. So no goals conceded. Yes, they scored 2 goals. Yes, that is what gave them the victory, but not conceding any goal. I think that's the biggest positive that this Indian team will take, because up next will be again a very strong opponent in England. But as you said, a perfect start for the men in blue in this Hockey World Cup.
All 4 quarters, Nikhil, it did seem that the Indian team not intimidated at all, very, very focused and sharp.
Oh, that's right. See, one thing that the Indian team has really worked on, Preeti, and that's been a big change in modern hockey. And I think that was instrumental in India also winning a medal at the Olympic Games after a big gap. That was that their penalty corner conversion had really improved. You saw European teams take advantage of that because modern hockey now relies a lot on penalty corner conversions. India had worked on that, made it their forte, and that is what helped them get a medal at the Olympic Games. And guess what? They've only made that aspect of their game even stronger. Earlier they had Harmanpreet, who was one of their outstanding penalty corner taker. Now they've got 3 more. They've got someone like Rohidas, who scored today as well, coming into their own. So now they have 2-3 options to get those penalty corner conversions right. Yes, they missed a couple here today, but I think there's always room for improvement. So certain areas that they've really worked on, and that's paying dividends now.
Well, let's hope so. They've gone to a flying start, and we are hoping they actually bring the World Cup home, because few can forget the spectacular bronze medal win by the Indian hockey team in the Tokyo Olympics, and they seem to have come back stronger. So go Team India. Thank you, Nikhil, for joining us on this fabulous news that is coming in this Friday. India scripting a spectacular win in their first match against Spain, and let's hope and wish them a spectacular journey going through the World Cup in Odisha, Rourkela.